Hey, Shalom, Akim Shalom. First and foremost, we'll go out praises and glory and honor as due to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Akakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace and blessings and salutation to the whole elect. News in the gospel, bro, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. Hey, man, this is going to be straightforward. This is an 8-minute video. I'm going to allow it to play. Yep, this is another video about the woman. So if you're tired of me speaking about this woman, then respectfully unsubscribe from the channel. You know, these videos are rather more controversial, so they oftentimes get a lot of hits. And often is really because men are just really sick of these. They're just sick of these women, you know. And I don't want to have to keep harping and getting on the fucking woman, but you know what? It's the spirit. You know, I don't wake up in the morning and sometimes, I have the spirit give me things to talk about as the spectrum, because every lesson we through is through the spirit. But sometimes, you know, the spirit just give you something on the fly. And this was one of those things because, you know, Apostle Ramlab always he said, you got to strike while the iron is hot. Had a topic I wanted to go into yesterday because we had a conversation after the camp and the spirit didn't have me to remember exactly the name of the topic. So if it comes back, then that'll be the next lesson. But regardless of it, we don't have to justify anything. You know, it is what it is. If you people watch these videos or you watch this channel for mere entertainment, then you in the wrong spirit. But if you're sincerely being edified and uplifted through these videos, and, you know, call Allah Yahweh Shai Shai, because it's really to uplift the elect and it's really prophecy, man. All right. And we're seeing our enemy, so-called white men, and you damn black women, you women in general in the West, are enemies to men, but we're seeing you get your just due, your judgment. Okay, this lady here, she goes into a tirade about how 106,000 black women have been laid off, and she was one of them. And me personally, I don't really give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? That's on you, because I'm reading the brother's comment down here, and he says, I don't need a man. I could do bad by myself. I ain't taking care of no grown ass man. Quote, we don't care, unquote, Stephen A. Smith. This is what the woman has said to us. So now the Most High is allowing them to eat those words. So yeah, man, Isaiah 4:1 is getting ready to come back in a big way. But not only that, we're seeing the downfall of this fucking black woman, finally. So call her Yahweh Bashimi Yahweh Shai, man. So I'm going to let this video play. And I'm going to get a couple of precepts, and that's going to be it. Matter of fact, let's do this. Let's get one precept real quick, and then we're going to go into the video. I'm going to let it play straight through without interruption, Lord's will. And we'll get a couple more precepts, and that'll be that. This ain't nothing that we got to speak about for hours. But this is the book of 2 Ezra 8 and 50, and it says, for many great miseries should be done to them that in a lot of time should dwell in the world, because they have walked with great pride. And this black woman, she fits this bill to the T. You know, pride. I don't need a man. I can do bad by myself. You niggas are sassy. You know what I'm saying? They call us sassy. They call us a low IQ. You know what I'm saying? They totally disrespect their male counterpart. Put niggas on child support, alimony. They would literally fuck up your life. And then expect for you, the same person who they destroyed, to come back and uplift them. You know, like I was reading one comment, and this one chick was cursing out some dude in the comment board because he was holding her ass accountable. And she like, you fake ass black man, you know that we in a racist country XYZ. But wait a minute, bitch. You co-signed it with this racist country to further destroy your men and your children. So why in the fuck do we feel some type of way about you bitches catching your hell? Because me personally, I don't give a fuck. Straight up, if you haven't supported this ministry or made any type of presence of good in our lives, then we don't really give a fuck about you. And that's just where I'm at with it. All you people that's not serving Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, you can respectfully just go and disappear some fucking way, because we don't give a fuck. And that's just the spirit the prophets are coming in. You know, if you have a problem with it, then unsubscribe. I don't care. Go watch Must See TV or some shit. I don't know. But it says here, for many great misery should be done to them that dwell in a lot of times, because they have walked with great pride. Yeah, and these women are extremely prideful, man, to say the least. You know, so to hell with them. It is what it is. All right. So anyway, Let's go play the video and we'll get a couple more precepts. So here we go.
By May 8th, 2025, 106,000 Black women lost their jobs, including me. And those of us that's been out here trying to find work again, it's basically just been non-existent. And I'm starting to feel like this is by design because there are over 100,000 women, Black women like me, who have the same story, who has applied for over 300 plus jobs and just not getting it, not getting any replies. There's just no feedback. Or you get the emails that says, hey, we have chosen someone else that has been more qualified for the job. Even though my experience and my education fits the job description perfectly. And I don't know what I'm going to do.
And let me stop. You see, out of all the bullshit, out of all the complaining she's doing, she's still prideful because she's talking about all her accomplishments. You fucking women, you always brag about your accomplishments, man. That's like the only thing you can really speak highly of yourself about. Well, I got this degree, I got this, I got that, my accomplishment. But have you ever thought about if you put all that energy into being a righteous woman to a man, you will actually feel fulfilled in life? You can have 3 college degrees in a big ass house with 2 cars in a driveway, but you still feel unfulfilled because you're not using your womanhood for what it's meant for, to be a wife, a mother, submissive, in order, helping building your husband's legacy so y'all can prosper off that. That's how you get a good name. But yeah, your dumb ass, you go to college, 100 bands in debt, just to get fired from a fucking job you worked for 6 months, and you're talking about how my accomplishments don't look like a pretty good accomplishment to me. Y'all getting ready to learn the hard way. And ain't no man gonna be there to save you. Just wanted to put that in there.
This is the first time in a long time that I am actually starting to panic.
See? That pride. The Most High is dropping that pride of these women, man. Scriptures say pride cometh for destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. She's worried now. And then out of all this shit, I don't know if she's married or not, but out of all this, not one time she said, well, maybe I do need a man. She's not going to say that because you so-called black men, they look down on you. Any other men of the other races don't want them, so they pretty much shit out of luck.
I came from nothing. I came from the bottom of the barrel.
You going right back down.
And I spent years building myself, educating myself, paying my way through college, going through a lot of experience to get to where I was in my career. For it just to be snatched away. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I am facing homelessness. I'm about to lose my car. I can't pay on my credit card, so my credit is about to take a severe hit. Dashing is not enough. It's just not enough money. There's so many people that are out here unemployed just like me. There's a lot of us that are out there. And the little money that I did have in savings, I used that to help my daughter move here. And it just, as a mother, I'm panicking because she didn't ask for this. There's no way that I can ask my 20-something-year-old daughter to care for her able-bodied mother who cannot find a job. I am trying to keep myself sane by humor, trying to keep myself busy with various things. But there's only so much that you can keep up the mask before you start breaking. And when you have come out of a situation that don't want to go back to. It puts you in a it puts you in a mental state because I don't want to go back to homelessness. I don't want to go back to um I just don't want to go back to that. But and I thought I'd done everything I could.
And the thing is, they don't realize that they've been weaponized. Okay, they don't realize that they were used for an agenda, for a purpose. Okay, Esau never had any intent on keeping this woman around. She was just used as a pawn, all right, to fuck up the Israelite man's life, which she's done a great job at that. But this is why the scriptures say never trust thy enemy. Because now she's looking back on it and she's like, damn, what I'm gonna do? You've wasted your whole life chasing this superficial lifestyle that was really non-existent. And now look at you. You're totally SOL. Go here to Micah 2 and 10. Because our people, they have a mindset that this is the only all be all. You know, so we got to make this work because, you know, there's nothing after this type shit. Nah, bro. But it says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it should destroy you even with the sword destruction. Okay? And that's the point. Jacob's been destroyed by this system because they've put all their eggs into this basket. And it was never meant for them to do that. Okay, the Lord said, return unto me, and I will return unto you, and seek his face 10 times more. But, you know, Jake didn't do that. Instead, they chose to live lavishly in a system that's collapsing, and it's coming back to bite them all. You know, so, hey, it is what it is at this point. We've warned you. We've tried to correct you, and y'all just bucked up against us and say, you know what, fuck you niggas. We gonna figure this shit out on our own. So now that's what you have to do. All right. So let's go back here and finish it. We got like roughly 4.5 minutes left, so bear with it.
To prevent that from happening again. I've lived on the streets before. I slept in parks before. You know, I've walked the streets for hours when I used to be homeless. And that's why I worked so hard to put myself in a position to not go there again. I even got rejected I applied to be a cashier, a cook at a McDonald's.
Damn. That's humility for your ass. Oh, man. Pride. Book of Leviticus 26 and 19. This is going to the curses. And I'm going to start at verses, let's start at verses 16. It says, and I will also do this unto you, and I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning ague that should consume the eyes and cause very sorrow of heart. And ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemy shall eat it. And Eve is getting swallowed up now by this system that she's put so much faith in. You know, because they really thought that Esau was going to allow them to continue with their reign of terror and be side and side with them. Hell no, the Most High put a stop to this shit. All these bureaucracies and systems, all this shit is going to fail. The IRS, everything around us is going to come to an abrupt halt sooner than later. You know, and that's when people are going to start to take matters into their own hands because, hey, a lot of dudes remember this type of behavior that was exemplified towards them and they're going to retaliate. Okay, you got men that's licking their fucking chops, just waiting to get back at you people and you women that put them in jail and fucked up their life and took their kids, you know, kicked them out of the house, totally destroyed their livelihoods, man. Or they want some get back, man. So you can imagine you have a group of men that's celebrating your downfall, you know, because, hey, when Kevin Samuels died, you had bitches that was they was literally drinking and twerking and smoking. They was celebrating the death of Kevin Samuels because he was just basically holding them accountable. He wasn't saying anything wrong or anything that was off. He just told them what it was. And, you know, women, they dodge ability like Neo dodging bullets in the Matrix. That's women don't never want to be held accountable for shit, you know. But it says, and I will set my face against you, and ye should be slain before your enemies, and they that hate you should reign over you, and ye should flee when none pursueth you. And we're in this predicament now, being in the system. All right. And it says, and if you would not yet hearken for all this hearkening to me, and then I will punish you 7 times more for your sins. and I will break the pride of your power, and I will make your heaven as iron and your earth as brass, man. And your strength should be spent in vain, for your land should not yield her increase, neither shall the trees of the land yield fruit. And we understand that this is going into our sovereignty being taken away. But on a smaller scale, it ain't looking too good for Eve. You know, she mentioned that I think she mentioned that her car is getting ready to be repossessed because see they get a job and put their faith in all that shit, and then all of a sudden they get laid off. But yeah, she has a $500,000 house and she has a fucking $850 car note a month. You know, not budgeting, not thinking about, not being circumspect, not planning for a rainy day. They just do shit off impulse, and when the repercussions comes back and hit them, then they're looking for everybody else to take up the slack. But that's not how this is gonna work. All right.
And the manager told me that I should be ashamed of applying for that position because I would be taking that job from other people who doesn't have the experience as I do. I don't give a damn what kind of job it is. I'm just trying to work to keep my head afloat and to keep myself off the street. I have nobody. It's just me. And I had to prepare my daughter for what I see coming. And as long as she's okay, I don't I don't care about I do care about going back to the street. I don't want to go back to the street. Um, but as long as she's okay, then I'll be okay. As long as she has a roof over her head, even if I don't have. And I think it's by design because every single job,
Hey, the price of that it's finna get hot box summer. They all finna have to come off that box, man. You know they gonna be selling it, but you can't have 100 chicks trying to overinflate that box because men ain't gonna buy that shit because they know that most of your $30, $40 trick off. Like you got them trying to charge a couple $100 for a couple minutes. Men ain't playing that game no more, man. Especially for something that's not even you're not even a nine, bro. Like ain't nobody finna pay that high dollar shit for some low class, low quality. You know, we believe quality over quantity, and y'all a dime a dozen. So it is what it is. It's looking bad for the black woman, man, and all you women in general. Okay, you're gonna have to eventually you're gonna have to come up under a man, and yes, a man is gonna have more than one woman. And if you have a problem with that, then hey, the Lord is gonna destroy you. It's that simple. All you women that left brothers or whatever got put away because Isaiah 4:1, then hey, you're gonna have to go back and you're gonna have to eat those words. You're gonna have to retrace those grounds, and eventually you're gonna have to come face to face with that man, and you're gonna be condemned. Especially when you thought the grass was green on the other side. So hey, we've been warning you.
that I have applied for, I can count on one hand of how many interviews that I've been to. And the interviews were stellar. I come out feeling good. I'm like, oh, I got this, blah, blah, blah. To only get an email saying that, hey, we didn't choose you for the position, choose somebody else. I even had 2 interviews set up to where the interviewers didn't even show up. So, yeah.
Damn.
And what is someone to do? What do they want us to do? A lot of them is going to be in the street, desperate, and I literally don't know what else to do. I'm trying not to crash out, but it's so fucking hard. I haven't even been in my apartment for a good 2 months now. 106,000 Black women laid off. And I think the most hurtful thing when I was laid off March 7th. I search for jobs every single day, sometimes applying for multiple positions for the same company. Applying for jobs that match my job skill, applying for jobs that I'm overqualified for? How can I tailor my resume for a job when my last two positions is an IT manager and an IT director? And if I apply for something that I'm underqualified for, they're not going to hire me. If I apply for a position that exactly meets my job skills, they don't hire me. I have revamped my resume so many times, I don't think I can revamp it anymore.
Damn.
People like to say, oh, you have a lot of skills, you have a lot of experience, you have the education, it's going to be easy. It is not easy out here, and it is not easy getting a job. And I'm scared. I'm scared with everything that's going on right now. I'm scared.
You heard that. So Shorty's terrified, man. She's not even, she's being very transparent. You can see it in her countenance. You know, the scriptures say that great fear and dread will come upon them in a lot of times, man. You know, so, hey, like I said, you've been warned. Isaiah 32, and I'm going to start at verses 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease, and hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. The speech of the men of the Lord, the prophets. That's who the Lord speaks to, his men. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the venture shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. Yeah, now you're realizing that the well is running dry, so you have no backup plan. Now you're going to have to resort to the one thing you despise, coming under your so-called, or your so-called black men. You're going to have to go back and retrace those steps. And a lot of you know that you're going to have to eat crow, because a lot of men, they just like, nah, we cool on you. You know, they have fun with you, but they don't have any real intent. And that's just what it is. You've done it to yourselves. You've played this game, and now the game is playing your ass. It says, tremble ye women that are at ease, and be troubled ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. Humble down. It says they shall lament for the teats, and for the pleasant fields, and for the fruitful vines. But upon my land of my people shall come up thorns and briars, yea, upon all the houses of joy in the joyous city. And the joyous city is Israel. You know, but in this case, it's America. And the vengeance is failing. So with that, I'm going to end it. Like I said, I wasn't going to harp on it too long. Just the spirit just moved on me to go into it. Giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will you are edified. Until the next lesson. Shalom.